Trying to stream another test stream for Cossacks 3 tournament. Is it working or how's it going? Yes. Yes, I'm using the new key you just sent me. No way. I'm streaming at 1440p. Unless I'm missing some settings. Rescale output is set to false, so it should not rescale anything. My base resolution is 2560 by 1440 and I'm not rescaling it. I'm just streaming 1440p. Why? Okay. I'm streaming again, this time 720p. .720p, my CPU usage is like 10-15%. I can't stream at 1440p. Okay. Baton versus colourfit. But I want to see the live stream because I want to see people if they ask in any comments. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm fine. Hi and welcome to the first game of the official Cossacks 3 tournament. Here we have colourfit faces Baton for the qualification game. The one who wins moves forward, the one who loses stays out of the tournament. So, let's get this started. While the game is loading, I can tell a little bit about the players. Colourfit and Baton already played together in another tournament hosted by some players long time ago, and Baton was able to defeat Colourfit. And actually Baton was able to get to the second or third place, I'm not sure. So Baton is a very good player, but Colourfit is also a good player. And in the end it all will matters who is better at this point of time and who is better with this nation. They are playing as France. I'm randomly Prussia, but I will delete my peasants and will just provide you live experience from perspective of both players, from Colourfit playing as blue and Baton playing as orange. Looks like Baton is a bit lagging with his computer, but it's okay because now they both are loaded, and we see that Baton is immediately rushing for Town Hall and the mail, but Colourfit... Excuse me, it's vice versa. Baton is staying and doing nothing, and Colourfit is rushing for Town Hall, mail, and of course market. Okay, and finally we see that Baton is doing something. Let's just ask what happened. Baton is rushing also for market, and I believe it will be 3 down holes game from Colourfit, yes. And it could be 2 down holes game from Baton or 3 down holes game from Baton, so we will see. There are 2 major tactics for 10 minutes peacetime. One is when you play through 3 down holes and you have slightly better economy later, but slightly less army, or you are playing through 2 town halls and more army. Looks like both of the players currently are playing through 3 down halls. Hi, Baton Sulayuk. Colourfit were good against Fulkrum. Yes, Colourfit is now much better player than he was before, and in the end it all will end up who is currently better at this point of time in this game. Everything may happen. Point-wise, Colourfit is currently leading slightly, and we can see that both of the players are going through very similar tactics. 3 down holes, 2 barracks, and then the academy follows immediately. So both of them have town halls, barracks, but academy is only for Baton, no academy for Colourfit yet. And both of the players are capturing gold mines, because gold is a very valuable resource, and it can be used for everything, including trading for stone and wood to build more buildings. So it's very crucial to find out all the gold mines as soon as possible. And we can see that Colourfit does not yet have all of the gold mines. These 2 are empty. And let's check what do we have for Baton. Baton has captured 1, 2, 3 gold mines and 4. So in the gold mine race, Baton has slight advantage. And now Baton is leading by points because he has got his academy, and Colourfit just finished his academy. Now we see that both of the players are sending pikemen all over the places to just scout all the possible land places and find out where your enemy is. Colourfit should capture this gold mine as well, and they will start upgrade the gold mines shortly. And the food production should also be upgraded. While they are developing, let's go and check the statistics. So we see that statistics is slightly different but very equal. Both of the players got first food production upgrade, but Baton has got second food production upgrade, while Colourfit has got the wood production upgrade. That's why Colourfit is focusing on the wood production over here. Big number of peasants is collecting wood, while Baton is focusing on the food production. And now he's switching to the wood production. I believe he has got the... Yes, as I said, Baton has got the wood production upgrade, and now he's switching to the producing wood instead of food. Now here are some drummers spying for Baton, and let's see if, yes, Colourfit has got all of his gold mines, and here he's placing another iron mine. And here comes the diplomatic center for Colourfit, and immediately Siege Cossacks are following. Siege Cossacks is by far the most valuable tactics by Colourfit. When I play with Colourfit, he always uses Siege Cossacks. Whatever settings are, Siege Cossacks are getting handy. Unless you're playing without capture, of course. Let's see, yes. Baton has also got his diplomatic center and he's spamming archers. These archers will be very valuable when you go for face-to-face pikeman confrontation, because the archers could destroy lots of pikemen from nice range, but you have to control them very well, otherwise you can lose all of them to a couple of Siege Cossacks. So it appears that Baton does not yet know where Colourfit is, and Colourfit could be to the right in this quadrant or to the top at this quadrant. That's why Baton is sending his pikemen to both of the sides. While Colourfit seem to have discovered where Baton is and gathering all of his military units in one place, which is the right place. When the peacetime ends, they should start placing the stables and produce some retiers or dragoons, but not yet. Meanwhile, Colourfit is leading by points, 150 points versus 128 points, which is not a big margin, but a significant one. We can see that Baton has discovered where Colourfit is and moving all of his units to the north of his base, and also starting to produce Siege Cossacks to defend himself against enemy Siege Cossacks, which is a smart move. But there should be enough of Siege Cossacks and all of the buildings should be protected. But we can see that Baton does not protect his blacksmiths, his mill, and the iron protection, the gold protection, the mines protection is not that good. So if Colourfit rushes in with a big amount of Siege Cossacks like we see over here, yes, of course killing the drummer to reduce the visibility of enemy, this could be devastating for Baton. But let's see how it happens, because Baton might be able to just blow up a mine and kill all of the Siege Cossacks. Here the harassment comes and Colourfit is not able to capture this mine because the pikeman and the archers being able to reach and rescue the mine in time. And Colourfit just retreats because he does not want to lose his Siege Cossacks to the pikeman. Let's see if Colourfit is able to find some way around and still enter the base of Baton, because Baton is currently playing a little bit passive. Meanwhile, Colourfit is placing 2 stables and producing archers with the rundashirs. Let's see if Baton has stables. looks like colourfit here is going to lose his siege Cossacks because Baton has more siege Cossacks and also archers and pikemen are helping. But once again, colourfit is retreating with his siege Cossacks, trying to find another way to the base of Baton, which is a nice tactics, but in the end, the one who is smarter, the one who is more precise, and the one who is able to control his units better is able to win. For example, here, colourfit is able to kill a couple of enemy siege Cossacks, while his siege Cossacks sustain almost untouched. And most important is that these siege Cossacks which are running here and there, they are disturbing Baton from playing and concentrating on his economy. That is why it's very important to always give pressure on your enemy to prevent him from develop and possibly trigger some kind of mistakes, like forget the food production or forget the gold production, for example forgetting upgrade a gold mine or something like this. Obviously here that Baton has lots of peasants staying in one small forest cutting the wood, and some of them just staying doing nothing, while colourfit is collecting harvesting food and collecting wood, and all of his peasants are doing something. So most of his peasants are on food production inside mines, and some of them are on the wood production. And here we see some redeers coming from colourfit, while Baton does not yet have a stable. Yes, Baton has only barracks, diplomatic center and no stables, which is a big disadvantage because redeers are very cheap to upgrade and they could bring very big problems to Baton. And this is indicated by points. Colourfit has 207 points, while Baton is only 184 points. So while these siege Cossacks are running here and there, let's go and check statistics for once more. Colourfit has finished his food production upgrades, and that is why he's focusing on food production that much. But let's see what do we have for the units. So pikemen, colourfit has 264 pikemen, while Baton has 281 pikemen. So Baton has slightly more pikemen. Peasants 216, 211, very equal. And siege Cossacks 145 for Baton and 107 for colourfit. So siege Cossacks are slightly on Baton's side. Now, colourfit has 2 stables, while Baton has no stables so far. And now Baton decided to rush in and attack. But the map, it's tiny map, but still it requires some time to actually go from one place to another place, and you are not able to bring all of your units because some of the units will be lagging behind, for example like this stream of pikemen. Hi Alex, how did you end up in here? So colourfit is going to defend his base, while Baton is gathering all of his points. And Baton Saluk, yes, you're right, the redeers are very good, and what's good about them, they are armored units and they are very cheap to upgrade. And it's very often even used in 18th century when you play very difficult games and you have your redeers upgraded, but your cuirassiers are not yet upgraded. You just keep using redeers because it's very expensive to upgrade cuirassiers. Looks like Baton is slowly gathering all of his units together, but I'm not sure this will be enough to defeat colourfit formations, because colourfit also has siege Cossacks, also has pikemen, archers, rendezvous, plus some redeers, which would be very useful in this case. Still, colourfit should check out his peasants, there is just a bunch of peasants staying at the mill and just doing nothing. I don't know how it happened. And now the peasants are going for food, from food production to the wood production. Are we going to see the first ever fight? Here is a mine, colourfit failed to protect it, and Baton is going to capture it, I believe. Yes, so here is the first fight of the match. Let's see who is winning, who is losing. While colourfit is spending his siege Cossacks to defeat enemy archers, Baton is getting into the base with his siege Cossacks, which could be lethal, or could be useless if the siege Cossacks die. So Baton is able to capture a couple of mines, but colourfit is able to completely destroy Baton's army. And now colourfit is rushing to the Baton's base, while Baton is trying to do something with his siege Cossacks, capturing the destroy mines, which will be an economy disruption for colourfit. But colourfit is able to successfully defend his base, and these mines are very important, but not that important. Let's see what happens when colourfit comes to the Baton's base. Is it going to be a GG, or we are going to see another fight between those two? Now colourfit is capturing enemy mines and also blowing it up. And slowly gathering his pikemen. Here is another formation of pikemen. Archers and readiers are following up. Another mine blown up. And I think it will be GG because Baton does not have any units. The siege Cossacks are ready to strike into the base. Archers, pikemen, everyone is just gathering over here, and Baton is trying to find some way to protect himself, but I think it's just a little bit too late. Colourfit is moving in, and archers following up. I think archers will start to burn the buildings, while readiers will just get into the base. Siege Cossacks coming in. Yes, archers are blowing up the town hall. Raiders are not yet getting in. The academy is about to blow up, and now colourfit is going back. If he would stay just next to the economy, he would blow up the economy together with his pikemen. But this way, he was able to save like maybe 10 pikemen, maybe 15. And Baton is now retreating, while colourfit is pushing in. And I believe it's game over for Baton. Yes, Baton surrenders. This is GG. Let's save replay. Replay saved. Game is over. Congratulations to colourfit. He moves to the next round of the official tournament. Let's check the statistics. So, what do we have for upgrades? Upgrades wise, colourfit was able to get the Forge Harshness upgrade for horses, meaning there will be more horses, double more, and one of the cuirass upgrades. While Baton got 2 cuirass upgrades, but he didn't have horses, and that was probably the main weak point of Baton. He was just lacking for cavalry units, and that's it. Also, Baton took 2 building upgrades to prevent archers from destroying his buildings immediately, but this also didn't save him. Anyway, it was a nice game. Let's hope we see even more interesting games in the next rounds. but this also didn't save him. Anyway, it was a nice game. Let's hope we see even more interesting games in the next rounds. But this also didn't save him. Anyway, it was a nice game. Let's hope we see even more in the next rounds. Hi Ricardo, yes, you did miss a game. But it's okay, you can just browse back and watch it again. But this also didn't save him. Anyway, it was a nice game. Rushing also for market, and I believe it will be 3 down holes game from colourfit. Yes, and it could be 2 down holes game from Baton or 3 down holes game from Baton, so we will see. There are 2 major types. Ricardo, can you guess who won? Yes, it was colourfit. Hi there! Looks like we are getting another game from the first round of the official Cossacks 3 tournament season clash. This time we are getting Fulkrum playing against Rabbit. Unfortunately, I don't know much about both of the players, but a couple of times I played with Rabbit and he's a decent player. I'm not sure if he's a big expert, but decent player for sure. Hi Colourfit, hi Ricardo. I see you having a nice chat inside the stream chat. So my peasants are dead, and now we are going to spectate Turkish fight between red Rabbit and blue Fulkrum. And someone made a pulse. I'm not sure who made a pulse, but not me. Okay, so finally the game starts, and both of the players are again rushing for Town Hall and Mill, which is start for every Cossacks game. The speed is roughly the same, they are getting their buildings at about the same time. Both of them are rushing to the market. Yes. Immediately Rabbit is following with another town hall and a gold mine. Exactly same thing from the Fulkrum. He is also rushing for gold mine, for second town hall, and third town hall. No, this is not third town hall. This is barracks and third town hall over here. What do we have from Rabbit? Rabbit also getting 3 town halls and 2 barracks. Exactly same layout from both of the players. It seems like something is wrong with this stream. I try to stop and start again. Okay, so I tried to stop streaming and started it again because for some reason it was lagging. It was not lagging when I was hosting the game, but it was lagging when someone else is hosting the game. No, still lagging. And here we are. So, 3 minutes of the game has been passed, and what we have in here is 2 down halls, 2 barracks, an academy for VRV, and 3 down halls, 2 barracks, and only academy following right now for Nazari. VRV will be able to get a little bit more army, and the army will be a little bit stronger because he's getting only 2 down halls. but his economy will be slightly weaker by the end of the peacetime. So, this all now depends on how they are going to go. If VRV is able to rush in and defeat Nazari very fast in the early game, it will be a win for him. But if Nazari is able to defend his base and stay a bit longer, develop his economy and get use of this economy and produce more units, produce more peasants, more resources, then it will be a win for Nazari. It's always interesting to see when players are playing with different tactics, because it could be judged like which tactics is better and which tactics brings wins and loses. Interestingly though, they both are going for pikemen. Polish musketeers are pretty good, but I'm not sure if they should go for pikemen or musketeers. Nevertheless, both of them are just going for pikemen and not bothering with musketeers. Here we see that Nazari is immediately protecting every building. He has at least the gold mines and the more important buildings like town halls, blacksmith, market. Let's check if VRV doing the same. No, VRV does not yet care about protection of his buildings. He is only spamming render shears and pikemen. I'm not sure why he's spamming only render shears, because render shears are good against ranged units such as dragoons and musketeers, and if he wants melee units, he should go for light infantry and archers. Still, this is his decision. Let's see how it goes for him. Points wise, Nazari is slightly leading, but not that much. It's 105 to 120 points, so 15 points is important, but not that important. Maybe it's time to check our statistics and we see what do we have. So, as usual, both of the players are going for the first food upgrade, and VRV has got his wood production upgrade, while Nazari has got second food production upgrade. And we see that Nazari is trying to expand with his peasants to the left side of the neutral territory and probably capture some gold mines. But here is a drummer of VRV, and this drummer could potentially spot the peasants coming here, and then VRV could send some siege Cossacks to destroy or capture the peasants. But Nazari is following up with the pikemen to provide some protection for his peasants. And yes, Nazari here is capturing some gold mines from the neutral territory and keep looking for more gold mines. I believe once he sees this gold mine, he'll capture this mine as well. But apparently he doesn't see it. Yes, so exactly what I've said. VRV just sent some siege Cossacks, captured gold mine and blown it. So Nazari has lost their two peasants, and now he is trying to build up other gold mines, and pikemen are following for protection. People in chat, please speak English, because I do not understand the language you are using right now. Let's go back to the armies. Our players, VRV, is building up siege Cossacks, while what happens from Nazari? Nazari is also hiring siege Cossacks, so it will be pikemen plus render shears plus siege Cossack versus pikemen and siege Cossacks. 3 down halls or 2 down halls, which will end up be better. Before they start to fight, let's check the statistics once again. So, not much changed. VRV has got 2 more food production upgrades and field upgrade, while Nazari has got another harvesting upgrade. And the peacetime is over, and we should expect some siege Cossacks running here and there, harassing each other, but apparently they are not yet ready. And this will be good for Nazari, because Nazari went for 3 down halls, means he'll get more peasants, more economy. Yes, colourfit is kindly asking you all, if you are Russian, please go to the Russian stream. If you're not Russian, then please speak English. And very sadly, VRV has lost connection or just quit, or his game crashed and he just disconnected. But looks like we are getting another game of these two players, because by the rules of the tournament you are allowed to get disconnected once, but if you get disconnected twice, you will be defeated. So the players are not allowed to just quit the games for nothing. But it happens that some disconnections happens, and that's why developers decided to allow one disconnect. Baton Saluk. Yes, 18th century dragoons are very effective against Polish pikemen, but you should keep in mind that they are playing 10 minutes peacetime. In 10 minutes peacetime you are not able to proceed to 18th century and build up 18th century dragoons. It's Konstantin or Miyconst is providing comments over here, or commentating here. Second English stream? Sorry, I have no idea. Thanks, colourfit. No, I'm not Polish, sorry. Looks like we finally have got VRV and Nazari all together in a room for rehost. And once again I cannot tell you what they are speaking about, but at least I hope we are getting a game. This will be a second game because in the first game VRV got disconnected, so they have to play Poland, and it basically will be a repetition of the previous game, and if VRV disconnects once again, then it will be over. Finally, the game starts. Yes, we are here. This time I'm Austria, but it doesn't matter because I will just stay here and provide some comments. Here we are. Again we have blue VRV and red Nazari. This time it happened that Nazari has a slightly bigger piece of land, while VRV has slightly smaller. Anyway, they are playing exactly the same tactics as the previous game. Rush into town hall, mill, storehouse and then market. And let's see if we are going to see the same situation as in the previous game, when 2 down hall and 2 barracks versus 3 down halls and 2 barracks, because that would be interesting. Otherwise we could end up in a very long game, which would proceed to 18th century, and then finally someone would overtake another one. Yes, looks like VRV is not changing his tactics, and he's playing through 2 down halls, 2 barracks, and food and wood production. And same for Nazari, he is also not changing his tactics, he's playing through 3 down halls and 2 barracks. But he will get the economy slightly later, because resources are spent for town hall, for the extra town hall. Yes, colourfit is playing in this tournament as well, and in the first round colourfit won against Baton, and he's moving to the second round, so we'll see how it goes, but I hope colourfit will provide us some nice, interesting and quality games, and as less as possible of the siege Cossacks. Somehow, VRV immediately knows where Nazari is, or maybe he does not know, maybe he is just guessing and sending all of his pikemen to the right side, which is side from Nazari. And same happens for Nazari. I might suspect they are watching stream and they know where are each other. But it's okay, because stream is delayed. Meanwhile, we are getting the diplomatic center for VRV, and the diplomatic center should also follow for Nazari, but slightly later. For now, he's just capturing his gold mines and probably upgrading them, which I cannot check because game statistic does not tell that yet. So what do we have for VRV? We have 3 gold mines. Let's see if we have 4th. Yes, we have 4 gold mines, and Nazari 1, 2, 3, and somewhere should be a 4th. Yes, and 4th over here. So gold mines are captured, 3 down holes producing peasants, and all of them are collecting food. Let's see if Nazari made food upgrades. So Nazari has got 2 food production upgrades, while VRV has got a wood production upgrade. So both of the players are going to slightly different tactics. One is going through food, another one going through wood. And VRV, same as the previous game, is just spamming render shears. I think it's a slight mistake, because light infantry and archers would be better. And VRV is also going for coal mine, which is pretty useless at this point, unless he is going to hire some dragoons or grenadiers, which would be really weird though. What happens on this side from Nazari? Nazari is just upgrading his gold mines and not yet even built the diplomatic center, so he is slightly behind, but point-wise he is still leading, 120 points versus 114 points. And here are 5 peasants walking towards the mine because the mine has been upgraded. And exactly same as in previous game, Nazari is expanding to the neutral territory, trying to capture some empty gold mines. One is captured and second one is following. He's probably going to scout with his peasants, find this empty one and just build a mine over there. No diplomatic center so far. This is a bit... yes. So here it goes, diplomatic center. And 2.5 minutes of peacetime left. Nazari is getting his diplomatic center, and let's see what units he is going to hire. While diplomatic center is building, let's check out how VRV is doing. So VRV has switched from render shears to the siege Cossacks, and these siege Cossacks are supposed to bring some harassment to the enemy base. But I'm not sure it will be enough of the siege Cossacks to bring like really big harassment. So VRV is sending siege Cossacks somewhere closer to the enemy base to be able to attack immediately after peacetime ends. And Nazari is getting his own siege Cossacks to protect his base from these harassments. And he has constructed second gold mine on the neutral territory. And VRV could just take his drummer and capture this mine, and it would be a smart move. But probably VRV has not noticed it, which is a bit of an upset. But it's okay. Nazari is getting more iron mines, probably he is short on iron for pikemen, but Polish pikemen, they do not require iron for upgrades. So I don't know, why would he need 3 iron mine in this early game? Mercenary grenadiers are good against Polish pikemen. Yes, I agree, mercenary grenadiers are good against Polish pikemen, but the thing is that none of the players are hiring the mercenary grenadiers. VRV has render shears, pikemen and siege Cossacks, while Nazari has only siege Cossacks and pikemen, so there is no point of collecting coal and iron in these big amounts for providing the shooting capabilities. because there is no shooting units. And by logic, VRV should be rushing into Nazari's base because he decided to go through 2 down halls and 2 barracks tactics. This should give him slight advantage just after peacetime ends, but if the game proceeds, the economy of Nazari will go ahead. Grenadiers can be both useful and too expensive. That all depends on the situation. Currently, in this case, we see that Nazari has sent his siege Cossacks just to the base of VRV and just stand there doing nothing, losing his siege Cossacks to some random pikemen which are coming here and there. And here is a bunch of siege Cossacks just staying and trying to hide in the forest, which is not very smart, but I think it's not on purpose because he's trying to control his units on his base, while these siege Cossacks are just running here. Nevertheless, even this small number of siege Cossacks was able to capture 2 town halls, mill, and a blacksmith. If Nazari now deletes these buildings, it will be game over. Yes, I think it's game over. Anatol, the other streamer, has quit, and I think it's game over, or I don't know. But Nazari also quit, and only VRV left, but I believe it's game over. Actually, grenadiers can be both useful and not useful. If you are about to counter the enemy shooters, it would be nice to have a mix between renditions and grenadiers. But if you're going to counter enemy melee units, especially armored, then grenadiers are just useless. And of course, grenadiers are useful to destroy enemy buildings. And what happened about the game, I have no idea. Just everyone quit, and I suppose that Nazari won because VRV base was just empty. So it looks like we are finally getting another game, and this time it's Mindaugas, or just Mindaugas, is playing against Artur. And this time they are playing as Prussia, so it will be another European country versus each other. Civil war. Coconut. Why would someone have to choose pink? This time I'm Netherlands, but doesn't matter much. Baton. Yes, very well maybe Mindaugas could win or could lose. Let's see. Anyway, this is gonna be a Prussian game. Pink brings luck. Brings luck to whom? To the owner or to the enemy? Okay, so finally we are getting here. The game started, and Mindaugas is playing against Artur. Red and blue, and so far everything is the same. Building town hall, mail, storehouse, and then problem market. Some fancy colors in the dark world of Cossacks 3. Why would the world of Cossacks 3 would be dark? It's a bright world. So far players are getting for exactly the same tactics, 2 down halls and gold mine, blacksmith, and let's see if they are going for 3 down halls or 2 down halls. So far Mindaugas is going for 2 town halls and 2 barracks. Let's see what's going on the Artur side. Artur is also going for 2 town halls and 2 barracks, so pretty much equal. Let's see how it goes. What is this? This is economy. Yes, if you're going for only 2 down halls, you are able to build economy much faster. But everyone dies. How that's right? Well, coconut, not everyone dies. The one who wins, that one does not die. Well, anyway, I don't like very bright colors like pink, yellow or white, because when you select your buildings on the minimap, it's very difficult to identify where are selected buildings or where are just your buildings, because the color of highlighted selected buildings is white. And it's very difficult to find out is it just white or yellow when it's all mixed up together. So, what's going on here? Artur is immediately rushing for diplomatic center, so they are going definitely playing through 2 down halls and 2 barracks. Interestingly, though, he has got academy and immediately diplomatic center. So I assume he will be rushing for some early units from diplomatic center like archers or light infantry or grenadiers, and he is streaming his pikemen immediately to the border of his quadrant. I think this is due to him watching stream, and he knows where the enemy is, because otherwise how could he know that the enemy is up north? And same thing applies for Mindaugas, I believe, because he's streaming units to the south, and he did not even investigate the territory around. And there is no drummers, there is nothing. It's just here a pikeman, here a pikeman, and here a pikeman. That's all. So I think they are watching stream, but it's fine because stream is delayed. And here are light infantry goals. let's see if they are getting the gold mines. Yes, exactly. Both of the players are getting the gold mines, upgrading the gold mines, because mercenary units require gold, and pikeman upgrades also require gold, and almost half of the peacetime is over. Let's check the statistics and see what do we have point-wise and upgrades-wise. So Artur has got 2 food production upgrades, while Mindaugas has got only 1, and units-wise, 65 peasants versus 61 peasants, so it's pretty equal. 76 pikemen versus 102 pikemen. This is a bit different. Mindaugas has a slight edge. Then Artur has 100 infantry, light infantry, and 40 archers, which is against 95 randashiers from Mindaugas. I think this is on slight edge from Artur, because light infantry is better in the melee combat compared to randashiers, and Mindaugas could have protect himself against ranged units like grenadiers or dragoons, but the thing is that Artur does not have any ranged units, so randashiers are worse than light infantry in this case. Here we see drummers and siege Cossack running somewhere to explore territory and possibly look for some extra gold mines. Another pikeman staying here and just watching out. And Artur is streaming all of his pikemen immediately to the border. It could be good and bad. Bad because he doesn't have any base protection. And if Mindaugas is able to rush in with the siege Cossacks and capture and destroy the buildings, it will be game over. 2 minutes of peacetime left, and both of the players are doing almost the same thing. The only difference is Mindaugas is keeping up with randashiers, while Artur is keeping hiring the light infantry and archers. And looks like these archers are going to somewhere, I'm not sure where. If these archers cross the neutral territory, they could be very easily killed by some siege Cossacks from Mindaugas. Yeah, in here, if Mindaugas would see them, he could just kill with the siege Cossacks. Do we have any? Yes, here is a drummer. Yes, and so there should be some officers as well. Well, let's see if we have any officers in here. This is drummer and officer. No, I don't see officers in here. Only pikemen. But I think officers will follow up. Yes, here is an officer for formations. There could be more. And now siege Cossacks are following from Artur. And points-wise, Artur is slightly behind Mindaugas, but that does not mean much because Mindaugas has lots of randashiers, which are not that good against infantry units like pikemen or military, any other military unit which is melee combat. Well, still, we see a very different situation. Mindaugas has gathered most of his units and rushing for an attack, while Artur is trying to defend this first wave. I would rather just go back to the base and rush in with this light infantry and siege Cossacks to the enemy base. Instead, here he's losing all of his pikemen. And these 2 formations of pikemen and randashiers are coming straight to his base, and his base is empty, so it's defenseless. While siege Cossacks running here and there and still don't doing anything substantial because Mindaugas also has siege Cossacks to defend. And the light infantry, I think he forgot to say go and attack, so the light infantry just running and dying. So finally the light infantry started to fight back, but it's too late. Almost all of the infantry units are dead. So you see here, this bunch of these light infantry units just keep walking and dying to 6 Cossacks, while these two formations of pikemen and Rendashirs just went through directly and straight to the base of Artur. And I believe this is game over. Easy win for Mindaugas. Yes, it's GG, it's over. And before the players quit, let's finally check the statistics, and we will see. So, Mindaugas had 200 Rendashirs, while Artur had almost 200 light infantry. Then he got 40 archers, and he got 100 siege Cossacks. If all of his units been all together, and if he would be controlling the archers properly, the archers could splash kill the pikemen and the Rendashirs with no problem, and then he could win. Instead, he lost his army piece by piece, one by one. So that's game over. Congratulations to Mindaugas, and let's see him playing in the second round. Well, I think Artur was picked up randomly or for whatever reason, but seriously, he was like defenseless and not controlling his units at all, and probably just hoping that his sneaky maneuver from both sides would help him, but it did not. Baton, did you check up the statistics with your game with colourfit? You lost because you had less units, and the raiders, they are very strong, and you did not have raiders at all. So the raiders made a huge difference between you and colourfit. That's why you lost.